edition is our guest segment. And my guest, once again, is Ivan Orocho. Ivan, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for
Ivan,
having
where are you originally from? Where's Orocho name
me.
from?
I was born in Puerto Rico, and my parents immigrated to New Jersey in 1980, and lived in Newark all my life, and now live with my wife and four daughters in West Orange.
Four daughters. God bless you.
Thank you.
And the
Thank you.
latest one was just like
Yeah,
a month
She's
ago
a month old.
when
Yep.
when Ivan planned this. And St. Paul's Outreach is a really, really important young adult college campus ministry, and we'll talk about that in a second, of course. But we met through internet. We met online.
Right.
Bob Shanahan, mutual friend, introduced us. We set a date. Then couldn't have that date because my wife is going to go into labor. Then she had the baby.
Okay.
So God
And
bless.
I'm
And,
here.
with the baby's a girl, obviously.
A girl,
What's her name?
Veronica.
Veronica. Beautiful name. True
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah.
Okay. And in many ways, Veronica, image, true image. Uh, Ivan's ministry is a true image of Christ on campus. Really, really important. And having been in campus ministry a few decades, I'm familiar with the need, the absolute need.
Yeah.
And I want to send you over to William Patterson like as soon as you leave here, but I'm not in charge. So tell me, what is St. Paul's Outreach? And then we'll go into its origins.
St. Paul's Outreach, again, is evangelization ministry that exists to create intentional Christian discipleship on campus through community, through relationship, through formation. And so it was born out of the experience of Gordy DeMarais, who was our founder, in 1985.
Is that a man or a woman?
As a man.
Gordy?
Gordon
DeMarais.
DeMarais, and a group of friends who really, they found their way back to the church at the time of the charismatic renewal,
Yes.
and in the time of, in their own life at college, I believe at the University of St. Thomas. And
In what state was that?
there's Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay.
And they began really from scratch a campus ministry program, and over time that ministry grew, and it grew into formation programming, and it exists 30 years now in Minnesota. About 10 years ago, some of students wanted to bring that experience to Ohio, and it grew in Ohio. It's about 300 students in formation at Ohio State University. And then 5 years ago in New Jersey, and it's kind of blossomed. They're now at the University of Miami, Texas State, in Arizona.
Now, except for St. Thomas, the ones you're mentioning are secular campuses, state universities?
There's a mix. So we're at Seton Hall, which is a Catholic university. We
Mhm.
also begin a formation program at Rutgers, New Brunswick, next
Now,
year.
are you working in cooperation with the campus ministers there?
We work in cooperation with campus ministry, with Newman Centers. We also have a partnership with the Brotherhood of Hope, who also, their charism is to do campus ministry.
Really?
And
where are they located?
They're located, their headquarters are in Boston, but
Okay.
we've partnered with them, and they have missionaries and brothers in Florida State. They have missionaries at Rutgers, New Brunswick as well.
Okay, now just on a personal level, Rutgers. When I left William Patterson campus ministry, I was just looking around what else I wanted to do, and I was invited down to visit Rutgers by Bishop Bukowski. It was too much of a distance. I didn't want to relocate, but anyway, I didn't take the option. So what's going on there at Rutgers? Because they have that beautiful building, church, and they had another building next to a campus ministry center.
Yeah, my understanding is with the brothers have a wonderful campus ministry program. What St. Paul's Outreach has been asked to do is to bring a household formation program for men.
And they have that facility there. That's
right.
great.
And so that's what we'll be doing in the fall is, leading that household formation at this time for men, and hopefully we'll expand it and open a women's house as well in the future.
Oh. I just saw Bishop Bukowski a few weeks ago, and we chatted a little bit, but I didn't know what this was all about, so I didn't even mention you.
Sure.
But that's excellent, because it's such a big university.
Yeah.
And
It's
so many
exciting.
campuses.
That's right. It's exciting. Exciting.
Overwhelming and exciting.
Right.
Okay, so what's your role in all this?
My role really for our New Jersey Mission Center is to really garner resources and funding so that the missionaries can do what they do best, which is evangelize and go and bring the gospel. For better or for worse, we need funding in order to do that.
Sure.
And so we want the missionaries to be not worry about that, to go on campus, to reach people, to announce the gospel at all times. And my job is to make sure that they have the resources to do that, so that they have the programming and the training to be able to fly to get training, to be able to have a house.
And my job is to promote you and your good work.
Oh, thank you.
That's-
And I appreciate
What
that.
is your website, in case the
Our
audience...
website is www.
Okay, I'm sure I have it on all the
Sure.
slides here.
.spoweb.org. St. Paul's Outreach. spoweb.org.
Okay, okay, and I'll make sure we have it on
Sure.
our
And there they
site.
can find information of where we're located, different mission centers. You can click on New Jersey, what we
It's-
do.
Especially for parents whose kids are going to various colleges, that'd be
Right.
great for them to know. Because, I mean, always I would get calls in March, April, May,
Right.
okay, from parents in various schools, say, oh, you have campus ministry? Yes. Do you have the church? Yes. You have mass? Yes. You know, who are you? You know, I'm Father Gertie, and then send out literature. Then those kids would come and meet, and,
Sure.
and community would build that way,
Right,
even
right.
before they even came on campus
Right.
as students.
Absolutely.
So
And-
that's really important. that we
and
spread
recognizing
this.
that need, I think the current stat is that 80% of Catholic students leave their faith while at college.
And that's pretty accurate across the board with
Across-
all denominations. I'll just say Christian right now, but all denominations.
pretty much.
And let me ask you, from your perspective, I mean, I have a whole series of,
Mhm.
my own responses. Why? Why did they leave?
I think there's a number of reasons. One is culturally, it's college is the time where you explore your, and I think there's a lot of messages from our culture that say it's a time to kind of explore who you are, and that means X, Y, Z. It's certainly faith has to be personal, and I think unfortunately, a lot of young people today, faith is imposed by them by their parents, and so it hasn't become theirs yet. So it's when your faith is not yours and it's part of your daily life and your routine and it's who you are, it's what you identify with. It's very easy to let it go.
But I'll tell you the truth. My faith came from my parents. Their faith came from their
Yeah,
parents. That's
right.
not new. So I agree with you there, but there's something missing. I mean, my parents did not push the faith down my throat. We were in an Italian parish, okay? And you may have grown up in a cultural parish.
Right.
Everybody knows everybody.
Right.
As soon as you move out of that
Right, and that's
into a secular
certain-
campus, that gets challenged.
That's certainly, yeah, and that's another that aspect of relationship and not knowing so many new people, new environments, and so I think, particularly now with this Holy Father, we're talking about highlighting evangelization.
You love him?
He's great. He's great. I
Love
think
Francis. May he live forever. God bless him. And what he's doing is remarkable. I don't think I've preached a homily since he's been Pope and didn't mention his name.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
sorry.
think, him and popes of this last, 20, 30 years have talked about this new evangelization that we have to
yes.
we have to find new ways, and I think the way that most, or I won't say all, but a lot of communities operate is that they'll come to us, and that's not the case anymore. We have to go out and serve
Hello.
them.
Let me tell you a horrible story. And I'm not really disclosing anything that is not public anyway. I leave campus ministry, okay? The bishop decides that I'm no longer part of campus ministry at William Patterson. No big deal. I mean, a big deal, major deal, but that's over. So another priest is placed as my successor, okay? Now, we had a very dynamic campus ministry. We had something socially going on every day. Soup kitchen, elderly, developmentally disabled. We had kids working on our TV show. Something every day. Music ministry, everything. So I leave, and it sort of begins falling apart because I wasn't told to work with my successor. Don't worry, hands off. So one day, I get a phone call, and the student who was president of Campus Ministry Club calls me up and says, Fadlu, the priest yelled at me. I said, priest yelled? Who, are you kidding me? Who yelled at you? I'll go yell at him, He said, nobody's coming to church. What do you mean nobody's coming? Nobody's going to chapel. And I'm the only student there the other day, and he grabbed me after Mass and said, and he, nothing against Polish, he's Polish by origin, and he said, how come there aren't students on campus coming to Mass? And he said, well, Father Lou, he's his father, whatever his guy's name was, he said, when Father Lou was here, and Matt, who's my associate, they used to go on campus every day, and we'd have the van, and we'd bring a lot of kids down here, and have a reception afterwards, refreshments, a discussion, Bible study, all that stuff. Hey, I'm not going to go on campus to get kids. In Poland, we open the door and they come in. I said, well, tell him that he should look on his dollar bills. Lech Walesa face is not on there. We're not in Poland. In the United States, we go on campus. We search. We evangelize. So you're right there. I mean, you were in existence when I was there. I should have brought you in, but
Yeah,
great.
I think that's one of the things that's been the church has been highlighting, that we all need to kind of it's our call from baptism.
Get out.
We have to be that prophetic voice in our world, and so we want to stay in line with those evangelization efforts in dioceses across the country, and we're so grateful to have to be in a time where that's being highlighted by so many bishops and the dioceses where we work
Yeah.
with, and we're so grateful for our relationship with Seton Hall University, and now with the Brotherhood of Hope, and so many great, wonderful priests too who help us and minister.
This
with
is
us.
one. I'm so excited about your ministry, and I
Thank
want to
you.
encourage you to come into our diocese. But we'll talk about that privately. This has been Father Louis Scurti with Ivan Orocho, and you can just tell I just love having him here. We haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg as to the value of St. Paul's outreach on campuses, because I love working with young adults. I have always loved them. They kept me young. They kept me alive. I could remember never going to sleep before 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, but always sleeping until 8:30 because of our involvement on campus.
Sure.
Thank you very much,
you.
Ivan.
Thank
We'll
you.
have you back,
Thank
and
you.
we'll put your website on.
Thank you.
This has been Father Louis Scurti. Thank you for joining us on our special show, St. Paul's Outreach. Contact us if you wish, Father Louis Scurti at hotmail.com. God bless you.